Hello everybody, and let's get right back into our accessibility quiz project here on FreeCodeCamp. Today we're going to do steps 31 all the way to step number 40. Let's read through step 31 now and see what it says. Although not required for label elements, with a nested input, it is still best practice to explicitly link a label with its corresponding input element. So what they're saying here is because our input is inside the label, we don't really need to use the for attribute, but we still should, okay? Even though we don't need to, like labels already work, but still we're going to put for inside that anyway, okay? So add a for attribute to each of your four labels that links the label to the radio input. So label 1, for equals, and we need the ID, which is Q1-A1. And then I'm going to copy that, go to my second label, paste, and this Q1-A2. And my third label, which is down here a little bit, yes, down here, paste. And this one is going to be for Q2-A1. And then my fourth label, which is for Q2-A2. And now we should be good to go. Let's see. Yes, we have indeed passed that. So excellent. On to the next one. 32. Give the label elements text such that the input comes before the text. Then give the input elements a value matching that text. The text should be true or false. So we want the text to be after the input. So if I put it here and I say true, we're going to see that that goes before the input. We don't want that. Instead, we want it to be after. So I select after the input and I'm going to write true. And then for A2, we're going to write false. And then we're going to go down here. And for this one, we're going to write true. And for this one, we're going to write false. And now if I click on the words, there we go. That should work. Oh, and we need to have a value matching the label text content. Okay, so value equals, and Q2-A1 is, value equals, and we're going to write true. Okay, value equals true. Copy that, bring it down here. We're going to type value equals, and here we'll write false. Okay, and then back up here again to this input, space, paste, and this one is false as well. And up here, paste and true. So now we should be good to go. And yes, we are. Wonderful. 33. If you click on the radio inputs, you might notice that both inputs within the same true or false field set can be selected. That's right, we can say true or false. We have a Schrodinger's radio button. It's both true and false. Group the relevant inputs together such that one input form a pair that can be selected at a time. So now this is something I do forget how to do. So I'm going to have to refresh my memory and search over here. Oh, excuse me, get that off the screen. Grouping radio buttons in HTML. And we should get by giving each radio the same name. Okay, so we need to give them a name attribute. So let's full screen it here again. Name equals, and we're going to give name Q1 for the first one. And the second one, we're going to give the name of, okay, so name equals Q1. And then this one is going to be Q1. So now if I click here or here, I can only pick one. Perfect. And then down here, we're going to give them the name of Q2. Simple enough, right? Simple enough. So this is going to be Q2. And now we should be good to go. And yes, we are indeed. Okay, ask me later, please. To prevent unnecessary repetition, target the before pseudo element of the P element and give it the content property of question hash. Okay, so we're going to target the before pseudo element of P. So P before, something like that, I think. Now it's saying I have a mistake here. Is it 2 colons? No? P before. Let's see if I'm wrong here. Give it a content of question doing. Oh, now there we go. That is cool. You see how it's automatically filled in the numbers? That is very, very interesting. Okay, let's check. There we go. So it's already given us question number 1, question number 2. Very good. The final section of this quiz will contain a drop-down and a text box. Begin by nesting a div with the class of form row and nest 4 div elements inside of it, alternating their class with question block and answers. So CSS questions. So we're going to have a div here and the class equals form row. Okay, and we'll close off that div. And let me just fix my formatting here. That's nested, so it should be in there. Now in here, we want to have div class equals and question block. And let's close that div out. And then the next one is going to be div class equals, and this one is going to be answer. And then let's close that div out. Now let's copy that again. So we have 4, that's 2, 3, 4. Okay, we should be good to go on step 35, and we are. Now for 36. Within question block elements, nest one label element and give the label elements text contents. Okay, so inside our question block divs, we want to nest a label. So label and close my label again, okay? Bring that down there. And give the label elements text content. Text content. There we go. And let's copy that down here. We could put any text in there. I'm just using text content to make it simple. I'm sure they're going to change it now in a minute. Anyway, there we go. Okay. 37. Inside the first div answer element, nest one required select element and 3 option elements. Select. So we're closing our select out here. And then I'm going to come in here, and inside here we're going to have option. Select all of that, copy 2, 3. Give the first option element a value of space. Okay, so value. Oh, I've messed up my option there. Okay, value equals, and then we're just going to write nothing. And then the text, select an option. OPTION. Okay, second option has a value of yes and the text yes. So value space, okay, value equals yes. And the text is yes, all lowercase. And then the third one, the value is going to be, I'm going to guess no. Value equals no. And the text is going to be no as well. So now we should have yes, no, maybe so. And we have an issue. You should give the first option a value of space. Oh, I've given it 2? No? How about that? Second option, a value of space. of yes. Oh, it should have a capital Y. I thought it said to have a lowercase y. Yes, it did. Huh? Okay, and the text of yes. Oh, the value is lowercase, but the text is uppercase. Okay, now I understand. Select an attribute of required. Okay, select required. Now, there we go. We are finished 37 and on to 38. Link the first label element to the select element and give the select element a name attribute. Okay. Select name equals CSS1. Okay. And we need to link the label. So label for CSS1, and we're going to give the select an ID equals CSS1, and we'll give it a different name, CSS question 1. Okay. There we go. So now that label is going to select the drop down. Very good. 39. Put one text area within second div.answer and set number of rows and columns it has. Okay. So here we go. Inside this answer, we're going to have a text area. Okay. And we're going to close out the text area properly. There we go. And text area rows equals, let's say 50. And columns equals, let's say 300. Okay. Wow. I feel like, have I spelled columns wrong? Columns, rows and columns, it has CLI. No, that's fine. Say 50. I don't feel like the columns are doing anything, but no, we have a problem. Calls. Oh, it's not called columns, it's calls, of course. Okay, there we go. Now we should be fine. And we're not, and it needs to have a placeholder describing an example answer. Okay, placeholder equals, and we're going to say this is an example answer. Okay. Okay, very good. And our last one for today, number 40, as with other input and label elements, link the text area to its corresponding label element and give it a name attribute. So we'll give this text area an ID equals CSS text area, okay? And label here, we're going to say for equals CSS text area, okay? And we want to give it a name attribute. So we want to give the label a name. Name equals CSS text. Now, I wonder, do we need to give the text area a name? Yes, the text area needs to have a name. So name equals CSS text, and we should be good to go then. And yes, indeed, we are. Guys, that's it for today. If this video helped you out, don't forget to hit like, give me a subscribe if you fancy, all that good stuff. I'll catch you on the next side, next set. All right, bye-bye.